Hi everybody, my name is Diane Roberts and I'm a prophetic artist. I have suffered with anxiety and depression in the past. I think it's quite natural to have anxiety and depression at certain times in your life. But I would express that if you are anxious or depressed, to go and see a doctor. I did go and see a doctor, but I was in no way clinically depressed. So it was just the terrible things that happen to you in life, how suffering comes and how we deal with it. In different times and different stages of our lives, we need to deal with it differently. So if you are suffering, you must go and see a doctor and get a doctor's advice, because if you're clinically depressed, there are things that can help you, and counselling is a wonderful help too. Anxiety and depression was because I had a relationship breakup and I felt deserted again, and I was in a suffering role. My whole life had crumbled again around me and I felt deeply depressed. It was like falling into a big black hole and then trying to scramble out of it, but constantly things would be put on top of you. So it was like someone was digging a big pit and they'd just be throwing things over you as you were trying to climb out of it. So I went to doctors, they prescribed me antidepressants. I decided at that time I wasn't going to take them. I found that it was important for me to climb out of this hole using God, and to use people to help me by counsellors. So I was lucky in my church they had a Christian counsellor, and I was able to chat things through and to discuss certain issues. And I then found that gradually the feelings of depression and anxiety started to alleviate. People were praying for me. Physical effects with my depression and anxiety. I had sort of like cramps across my chest. I had, in my pit of my stomach, I had like a sense of something that would never go away. It was like a broken heart, let's describe it. So something was shattered inside of me. I would continue sort of behaving normally, things would carry on, the job would carry on, but inside I was like shattered. And looking back at that situation, I was so important to me was to realise that God was there. Even though I felt God was far, far away, God was there with me. I was never alone. God was always there, helping me, comforting me. It took me 3 months to come out of this situation. I found that the 3 months things started to lift and the cloud went away. As soon as the anxiety lifted, because my stress levels were high, because things were up in the air, things weren't sorted. I felt this might happen or that might happen, or it was, something else might happen. But in hindsight, I was worrying about things that didn't really take place. It was only because of my stress and anxiety I imagined the worst scenario, and in fact that didn't happen. So something else happened, God came in, and through that crisis, because this is the point that I really want to make of this video, is that through our suffering we change, and God meets us in that deepest part of ourselves, in our souls, in our hearts. He meets us there, and that helps as well. And was crucial was reading the Bible and meditation. I would do Bible reading in the morning, and I would tell God how I was feeling, totally honestly about how I felt. I would read scripture, and then I would sit silently listening for God for 20 minutes. And that helped. It calmed me down. It made me, God is loving, God is kind. He comes to you, he comforts you, he cherishes you, you're his daughter. But sometimes when you're in situations where you are feeling anxious and you're feeling desperate and you are depressed, that feels very, very far away. But you know that it happens. You know that he's there. The other thing that helped me was making self-affirmations. My self-image at that time was very poor. I had lots of bad talk going on in the back of my mind. You know, you're no good. You always mess up. I'm not going to go with the whole scenario of all the things, but, you know, all those things kept coming up time and time again. In fact, I was punishing myself, I realised. So speak confirmations of love of Christ over my body and over myself and over the whole of my life. And to make positive affirmations, I chose my little bits of favourite scripture. You know, I'm a child of God. I am forgiven. I trust in God. He comforts me. I may walk through the shadow of death, but he is there with me. So all those things, each day I would read them out to myself. And then I would find during the day, one or two things would come up and those verses would come back to me. So I recommend making personal Bible verses for you that you feel will help you. And in this time of the pandemic, anxiety, despair, pain, suffering is there, but I stress that you ask God into that situation, and I pray for you that he will turn up and he will comfort you. If you need any prayer videos, if you would like a prophetic picture from me speaking into your situation, then please go to my bio at the bottom and use the link below, and I will be very happy to do something specifically for you. Please subscribe, and if you like these videos, please give me a thumbs up. Bless you today. Thank you so much for listening.